Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Gibson Guy. Thanks for tuning into the channel. Today I'm starting out a more complex video than anything I've undertaken before. It's going to be a long video, and I'm going to split it up into 3 parts, starting out with the first part here and then going on that there. And this is going to be comparison of matching Carl Zeiss and Nikkor lenses in a side-by-side comparison with the photographs. Now, the way I have it planned out is that I have these pretty much matching lenses here on display to start with, to tell you what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to take all those lenses and those 2 cameras, the Nikon and the Contax, and go outside and shoot each lens. And not only that, but we're going to be see, I got a roll of film for the Contax, a roll of Fuji 200 also for the Nikkor, so they got the same exact film in them. So I'm going to be taking pictures side by side with each lens, and then I have to get it developed, come back, get the photographs sorted and numbered and in order, and then I'll do 2 more videos, because it's going to be a while to see all this. 2 more videos. The first one is going to be the wide angles and the 50s. And then the other video is going to be shots taken with the telephotos. So I want to introduce you to all these lenses and explain the thought process behind it. And that is that these classic lenses are considered pretty valuable, collectible, and mostly in demand by photographers who may be using electronic cameras, digital cameras, but they can fit these lenses onto their cameras and get real classic photography out of their digital equipment. And so at one point the value of these would gone down to being nearly negligible, but then it picked back up, and we seem to be getting a little bit more interest in film photography as we go. And so the prices on these things continues to gradually climb up, the resale prices on them. And the Nikkors, and followed by the Carl Zeiss lenses, happen to be some of the sturdiest, most robust, and in many cases best picture-taking lenses out there. So these are kind of top-of-the-line lenses. I could have done a comparison with Contax and Canon, or Contax and Minolta, but really the Contax and the Nikon, I think, makes the primary one that would draw the most attention. And all of you are saying, which is the best? What do you think? So I want to try to make this kind of a blind comparison that you can't tell. See if you can tell the difference from one lens to the other. Let me show you what we got here. I'll start out with this. I can take it off, sure. This is the Carl Zeiss T planar f1.7 50 millimeter lens. So this is your standard 50 that we're going to use. Now I'm making as close as a comparison as I can, but I'll point out the differences. The difference is this has a maximum aperture of f1.7. Where's that red dot? There it is. And it will be going up against this Nikkor, which is a 50 millimeter f1.8. See, they used to call this the good one. It was an early auto-indexed f1.8 Nikkor. Comes off like that, and Goes back together like that. I'm thinking about it, and I think these are all the lenses are going to end up being set at f8, and then use a corresponding shutter speed for each lens to get the picture to come out exposed correctly. So that would be my picture number one on this roll, and picture number one on this roll would be a 50 millimeter shot of the same thing. Then going up by length here, the next one I have is this Zeiss Distagon, and this is a f2.8 25 millimeter T-star lens, and this is a pretty nice lens. This is the very nice lens actually. This is the one that's the later series where the minimum aperture is printed in green, while the rest of them are all printed in white. All these other ones are the earlier series, so you can see the f22 is in white just like all the other aperture sizes. But this is the Distagon. So this is a 25 millimeter, and it will be going up against this Nikkor, which we see is a 24 millimeter f2.8. So 1 millimeter difference, a 25 and a 24. So it's going to be interesting when we look at the pictures if we see a difference in the exposure of the 25 millimeter or the 24 millimeter lens. All right, after that, now we have a more direct comparison here. This is the Distagon f2.8 35 millimeter T-star. And I really like 35 millimeter lenses. I think that's my favorite wide angle. It's kind of like just a super normal lens. And it's going to be going against this Nikkor. And it's not exactly an even comparison because this Nikkor is an f2. This is one of my prize lenses from way back in the 1980s when I first got this. This is actually a lens from the 70s because it's not auto-indexed. I mean, it's auto-indexed, but not AIS. And so this is a really unbelievably clear lens that just gives you amazing picture quality. It looks fantastic. And I'm going to be interested to see how the Distagon holds up against that. All right, so we've done the 24, 25, the 35s. I'm not doing a 28. I have a 28 in the Nikkor, but I don't really like 28s that much, so I didn't bother. I got the 25 and the 35. Who needs the 28 in the middle? That's not that much difference. I'd rather have a little bit more reach. So getting the 25 millimeter is kind of a cross between a 24 and a 28, kind of does both of them. But that's it for wide angles. Now we go into the telephotos, and this is a Carl Zeiss planar 85 millimeter f1.4. This is a new super lens here for me. I had this. I've got 1.4 lenses in 50s. Have a number of them, but this is the only 85 that I have, and this does some amazing photography. I can't wait to see how these come out. And this was my old favorite lens. It was my Nikkor 85 millimeter f2. So this lens was my fast telephoto until it just got superseded with this Carl Zeiss. But this is a superb lens, and I can't wait to see how in the shootout how it goes between the pictures from this one and the 6 pictures from this one. There's going to be some real competition right there. f1.4 and f2. Keep going here. I have all the lens caps here, by the way. I just took them off, but they are there. So next in the sonar range, what was these? Planar, okay. Planar, which is like the 50 millimeters. 50 millimeters to 85 are planar. This is a Carl Zeiss sonar f2.8 135 millimeter T-star. And This one is, they're starting to get some heft on it. These are very, very well made lenses, and they are designed to be absolute tanks as well as taking great pictures. And it's not very often that something's going to make a Nikkor seem like a light lens, but this lens is a little bit lighter than the sonar there, the Carl Zeiss. And this is the same thing. These are direct comparison. 135 millimeter f2.8. This one doesn't have the writing around the ring here, has it on the side. And this one also has a slide out lens filter. Well, not lens, yeah, lens filter and lens shade. And so it's attached to it. The only problem is if you go to pick this up from here, sometimes it'll slip down like that, but that's not a big thing. When the cap's on, it's not going to do that. So this is the Nikkor that's going against the Zeiss. Yeah, the Zeiss is a little bit light, a little bit heavier, a little bit more solid feeling. And then we'll go to the end of this is, I could have gone into 250s or 300s or something, but those are kind of specialized lenses. I'm trying to look at the basic lenses that everybody uses. That's going to be people's interest. I thought about getting a 300 millimeter telephoto, but I have that's kind of a lost cause because I have the Tamron 300 millimeter f2.8, which is Tamron, so it can mount on anything with an adaptable mount. And getting a 300 millimeter f4 or f4.5, there's the one on sale right now that's pretty cheap, under $100 for the 300 millimeter of this, which is f4.5. But I wouldn't use it. I would use the Tamron. I wouldn't need that one. It would only be for like an investment, and that's not that big of an investment. All right, so this is the telephoto T-Star f3.5 200 millimeter, and the Nikon 200 millimeter f4. So this one is a little bit slower, a little bit smaller front element size, and it also has the slide out lens hood like that. Works pretty well. It's got some felt on it so that it keeps sliding pretty easily. And this is the Nikkor really, really super sharp telephoto lens. And I've seen some pictures with this, and they are incredible also. Really does good color renditions. I shot some fall pictures with this lens, and got all kinds of fall foliage colors, which was just beautifully transmitted through this lens. So these are two real fighters. Again, this is a 3.5 and this is an f4, so this one is a little bit faster. No, you're faster, you're faster, you're longer, you're the same, you're the same. No, you're faster, you're the same. Okay, so that is the cast of characters, what we're going to be looking at. Then, I want you to get introduced to these lenses and get the idea of how we're doing it. So I'm going to put this video up first, and I have to go out and shoot both rolls of film. Oh boy, it's a good thing I have a big camera bag and I can carry around an extra 10 lenses in and strap up these two cameras with the lens on them. And then I'll be dragging myself through the park and taking pictures of everything. But this is Florida in the wintertime, and Central Florida in the wintertime has mostly really clear blue sky days, and that's best time to take photos. So this is the time of year it's not too hot, the air is clear, it's not that kind of a white sky full of haze that we have in the summertime with all the water vapor. It's, well, it's blue skies out there. Yeah. So that's it for this one. I'm going to put this video up and then watch for part 2, which is going to be wide-angle normals, and part 3, which will be the pictures from the telephotos. And this is going to be comparing 72 photographs. That's why I'm breaking it up. So it will be one roll for each roll of film for each video. All right, so that's the start on it. I hope you enjoy this video and watch for part 2 and part 3 to come. However quickly I can get the film processed. All right, and until the next time, this is Mr. Gibson Guy, and I am out of here.